I'm going to be teaching a 4-step approach to teaching students in the clinical setting. And this approach has been developed by the Teaching on the Run program. The first step of the approach is to demonstrate what it is you're doing without interruption so the student can observe you doing it in practice. The second part of the approach is to demonstrate it and explain the steps as you go. The third step of the approach is to demonstrate it and get the student to explain the steps as you go. And the fourth step of the approach is to get the student to do it and to demonstrate it. The advantage of this approach is it allows the student to observe you doing it in practice without interruption. And secondly, it allows an opportunity for repetition, practice and feedback. The second step is to demonstrate the task and explain the steps as you go. Okay, Elizabeth, I'm going to show you how to hand wash. Okay. First thing to do is roll up your sleeves past your elbows. Yep. And check that you've got no jewellery or rings on. Rinse your hands under the tap up past the wrists. Lather your hands with soap. Then your right hand over your left, rub the back of your hand. Same with your left over your right. Palms together, fingers splayed. Clasping the back of your fingers either side. Then around your thumb. And then in your palm of your hand. And finally around your wrists. Rinse thoroughly. And dry your hands thoroughly. Okay. The third step is where I will carry out the task and my student will explain the steps as I go.
Okay.
Okay, Elizabeth, I'm going to now do the task and I want you to explain the steps as I go.
No worries. So start by washing your hands thoroughly up into your wrists and then begin to lather your hands with soap. Start by putting your right palm over your left and rubbing back of your hands and then palms together and rubbing your fingers interlocked. Clasping hands together to rub the backs of your fingers and then rubbing the thumbs. And lastly, small rotational circles to wash the palms of your hands. And lastly, your wrists, and wash and dry your hands thoroughly.
The fourth step now is where I want you to carry out the task and I want you to explain the steps as you go.
Okay. So I start by washing my hands, then applying the soap and lathering up my hands and wrists. I start by rubbing my right palm over my left.
Good.
And then left over right. And then palms together, fingers interlocked. And then wash my hands and dry my hands thoroughly.
Okay. How do you think you went, Elizabeth?
I missed the fourth step, but apart from that, I think it went quite well.
Yep. And that's important because that's obviously what you're going to use when you're touching the patient.
Yep.
What I did notice as well is that you actually washed your hands under the tap, which washes away the soap as you go. Okay. So it's a good idea when you're lathering up and soaping your hand thoroughly to take it away from the water to do that and rinse it at the end.
Okay.
But well done.
Thank you.